Okay, looking at our final example of this lesson, it is a revenue problem. Okay, we're looking at the revenue function for Sports Illustrated magazine. Revenue is, again, how much money they have coming in. Okay, Rx represents the revenue sold in thousands of dollars. Keep that in mind. Okay, so for example, if Rx equals 10, that doesn't mean $10. It means 10 times 1,000, or $10,000. Okay, so just because a number is given as a smaller value does not mean that that's the actual monetary value of the number. Of the magazine, and X is the number sold in thousands. Okay, once again, X represents the number in thousands, the quantity in thousands. The cost, so this is how much it costs to make the magazines, is given by this equation here. Okay, 4x plus 48. C is the cost in thousands of dollars. We want to find how to maximize the profit. Okay, keeping in mind that the profit is your revenue minus cost. So in terms of a formula, my profit is going to be revenue, so Rx, and this is function notation. Don't get too concerned with this. We're going to talk about it in the next unit, minus P of X. So what does that look like? Let's start generating the equation. So we have our profit, P of X, equals revenue. In this case, it's negative 6x squared plus 40x. And the cost is 4x plus 48. So we're subtracting, oh, made a mistake here. That's supposed to be a C. We're subtracting 4x plus 48. Notice when I subtract, I put brackets around the second binomial because I'm subtracting the entire binomial, not just the 4x. I've seen that mistake a few times in tests. Let me simplify my expression here. So what do I have? Negative 6x squared plus 40x minus 4x minus 48. Because that negative gets distributed throughout the binomial, equals negative 6x squared plus 36x minus 48. So profit, well, it's a parabola, and it's going to open down because of the negative 6 in front. So it's going to be something like this. So in the x-axis over here, I have the number of magazines sold. And in the y-axis, I have my profit in dollars. So what I'm trying to find out is, well, where is that maximum profit going to occur? Okay, for what x value am I going to get maximum profit? You see, if I produce too much, my profit starts going down because my costs start increasing. If I produce too little, my revenue is not going to be high enough. So once again, I'm not maximizing my profit. Let's take this diagram, maybe put it to the side now. We want to maximize profit. Put it over here. To do that, well, we got to find the vertex. And what does that mean in a case like this? Finding the vertex means completing the square. And that's what I'm going to start off with. So P of X, I get the first term divided out from the first two, well, the coefficient that is, minus 6x minus 48. And then off to the side, I take that negative 6. I'll do it in red. Negative 6 divided by 2 gives me negative 3. I'm going to circle that. Then I take that negative 3, I square it to give me 9. This is the number I bring back inside to the brackets. So plus 9 minus 48. Now that final 9 I take out, but I got to hit it with the negative 6. So negative 6 times 9 becomes positive 63 minus 48. And my final answer, again, this will be a perfect square trinomial. So I can rewrite it as x minus 3, keeping in mind that negative 3 will always match up with this negative 3. Little shortcut. And then I have a positive, what is that, 58 plus 5, so that's 10, 15. So, what does this mean in terms of my actual situation? My vertex is going to be 3, comma 15. This is my vertex. And in my diagram here, that means here I have a 3 and my y value is 15. So to answer the question, calculate the maximum profit and the number of magazines sold that will produce that profit. There's two questions here. Well, there's my answer in the vertex. So 3, remember this is in thousands, times 1,000 magazines. And in terms of the profit, well, it'll be 15 times 1,000, which is just $15,000. Okay, and this up here is 3,000. There you have it. Okay, so we've used ideas about quadratic functions to solve very simple type of revenue problems.